Welcome back to Time to Spare. Today on Time to Spare, we're going to be talking about what we do in our spare time. Today, we got the older brother of our oldest guest.
Our main host, basically.
Our main host, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm Ayham. My brother is Adham. We have different second letter names, Y and D. That's how you know me. I'm the Y.
Why indeed, that's how you know me. Anyways, so how are you doing, man?
Good.
Do you see the Fast and Furious trailer?
Yeah, let's get hot. Right.
Let's get furious.
Let's get furious.
Pretty fast.
So yeah, have you seen the?
I have seen it. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not a really big fan of Fast and Furious. Franchise. I like the big cars. I watched the first one multiple times, not by choice. It was the only movie I had for like a couple.
The very first one.
The first one and the second one, I had those, and
Those were like the best ones, anyways.
They were the best ones.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
So in my new apartment, when I was moved in, I had nothing except for these two movies on my computer, and for 2 days there was nothing to do.
That's the only thing you watched.
There was the only thing. There was no TV, nothing. So I just had to watch it. I watched the first one and then the second one.
And then the first one.
And then the first one again, because so I know but it's interesting because I find like I've seen Tokyo Drift before and I like that. But I'm not really into it. Not because of the fast cars or whatever. I just think that it becomes like too science fiction-y.
Yeah, obviously. Especially
and
new ones.
like my favorite scene, I think I've seen. I don't know which. To me, honestly, they're all the same. Like if you give me one scene and but there was one in Brazil.
Oh,
I don't know. Fast
good.
Five.
Yeah.
I seen some of it on the plane, and then is it the same one with the safe? There was like a scene.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember that because I was on the plane and
that was a good one.
And I was like looking at my neighbor and he was watching and I'm like, what the hell is this?
yeah.
And I asked him and he said, it's Fast and Furious. I'm like, okay. So I go in this and this was like an airline and they had all the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh, really?
It was a 13-hour flight, right?
You're going to China then?
I was going to China. I didn't go there. The guy who was sitting next to me went from beginning until the end.
You watched
13 hours.
all of them?
Yes.
Wow.
Like I think
killer.
the last one.
That's a lot of sitting through Dom going.
Yeah.
Oh, family.
We're family.
This is my family.
No, but like honestly, for the longest time, he was just watching it over and over again, and I think he watched like the most recent one first, and then he realized all of them are there,
yes.
and so he went back because like I think the last one that he watched,
Fast Five, probably.
I think it was whatever, but I remember him like we all landed, and it was like the last scene, and he was waiting for it to finish, and then they shut everything off at the very last scene. I was like, man, get up, we gotta go.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So have you
Fast
seen the new
Five.
trailer? Sorry. So have you seen the new trailer?
I seen that like bits and pieces of it, and then
So right now they went from Hollywood to maximum Bollywood.
So like I know Dom is alive or something, or like he's a bad guy or something.
No. That's an old one.
That's the one
That's an
before
old
that.
one. See, I don't even know.
Yeah, this one, he's been catching cars. So
Okay.
yeah, he's
Are movies like that big in China? Like,
Man, Fast and Furious? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
that franchise is pretty big everywhere.
That franchise is one of the biggest franchises in China. I should also clarify that I live and work in China. People may not know. Like, what is this guy talking?
China? Who's this?
Yeah. No, I've been working in China for 5 years, and it's pretty interesting. It's fun, but yeah, it's that and the Avengers. Man, you have no idea.
Big franchises over there.
Man,
And they make it like a big deal, don't they?
it's a huge deal.
I love that about them. I love it.
Now, like there's a lot of things like in China. If it doesn't work in China, you're gonna lose money.
Oh yeah, like movie wise.
Movie wise, like
Okay.
I feel like I'm not gonna be like for example in
Well, what about like Avengers and stuff?
Avengers, man,
That was a big
it
blowout.
was
wasn't it?
huge.
Like it blew up real.
Man, it came. It
for a
was.
long time.
It
Too.
was one of the first movies that premiered in China before it premiered in North America.
Oh wow.
So I watched it a day before you guys watched it.
Oh yes, I remember you telling me.
So
Did you watch? You watched the movie?
I watched it. I watched it at 11:30. So I think the first one that ever came out was like at the same time.
We're talking about Endgame, right?
It was. I'm talking about Endgame. But I think the first one that ever came. The one that ever came at the same time was. What do you
Bring the
call
mic a little bit closer. No,
what-
bring the mic to you.
Okay.
Sorry.
This?
Yeah.
I can't go to the mic. The mic has to come to me. I think it was Guardian of the Galaxies 2. I think
Yeah.
it came out at the same time, and they were trying to see if it makes like money or whatever, or like trying to see if
Did it?
people reception. Oh, man.
Obviously.
Who
I'm-
wouldn't?
But
Go.
but I watched Endgame. I watched Endgame at 11:30 at night. So
Okay.
like in
Was
China,
it still freaking packed?
it was 3 hours, and yeah, it was freaking packed. We bought the tickets 3-4 days before,
Jeez.
And
I
we-
mean, yeah, everyone did that here too.
and so like in China, like you buy it on your phone, right? So
Yeah.
like, but you there isn't like you can say whatever you want. You have to, because I went to an IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
And all the even in the IMAX, like even normal ones, you have to set the tickets, and you have to like show where you're sitting, and they give you an actual number.
Oh.
And
yeah.
so
It's like that here now.
yeah, so well because I haven't been here for 5 years, so I don't really know. But back in my day, you can sit wherever you want. But in we had to pick the thing, and like within 2 minutes, like boom, like we had a VIP 70-seater, and within 2 minutes, like it was almost full. Like my
Oh, wow.
friend tried to refresh, he refreshed, and he just barely got the first row.
Okay.
Ooh,
So,
first
but
row.
like not like first row, and where like it's huge. It was first
Well,
row.
You guys
where
went like this all the time.
no, it was okay because
It was farther away.
it was farther away, and like the screen is smaller
Okay.
because it's a VIP.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But the IMAX I went to see the next day because it was like the vacation time was there. So like we had it was a holiday on May, so I just went. It was too tiring, so I watch when I watch movies, I watch them twice.
All the time?
All the time. Like
Really?
if it's a big movie that I want to watch,
Yeah.
I watch it twice.
Opposite
Once for the watching, and then the second time
Observing.
for the observing. So like I watch it alone the first time because I want to see the actual I want to be immersed in it, because I always have people, like I'm with my friends. Who is that? What happened?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, why is Thanos doing this? Like,
Me?
you know what I mean?
I'm like that. No,
He
you're like
hates that
that.
about me.
I
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pointing to
I
him.
do not like when I want to watch a movie, I want to like watch and experience stuff like Endgame or Star Wars, the new one. Just watch it by myself first,
Mm-hmm.
and then
After that, go.
and then
with
I
your
have to go,
friends.
because like then it'll be like, yeah, well, if I sleep, I sleep. So yeah, like basically, I don't want to I don't want to be disturbed by it, and the reason why I was, even if it's a crappy film like Jurassic World and Jurassic Kingdom, I had two friends sitting right next to me the whole time, and they're just talking and talking. I'm like, I don't hate this movie because it's terrible. I hate this movie because of you.
Because of you.
Yeah.
So I honestly like.
Yeah, because sometimes it's the experience.
It's,
you know
it's
what I
just the experience of cinema, you know.
mean? Yes,
I just absolutely, even when I was a kid, I remember you guys were like, we wanted to watch a movie, and you'd always ask me questions. I'm just like,
Really?
I was
oh,
a
yeah,
kid.
man, I was-
Okay.
I was-
He was like
Yeah.
a big brother figure to me.
yeah,
Obviously.
Oh, obviously.
No, but like
And-
there's some good movies. I
Yeah,
was saying there's
keep
some good movies I've like slept through.
No, I honestly there are times where yes, that's why I go alone as well. Another reason is because
I think you and your brother love going alone. You guys should go together but alone.
we do not.
I would like going
Honestly,
alone.
I understand what he means, because I agree with the fact that when you go to a movie alone, people see it as a social occasion, right? I don't see it as a social occasion. I see it as
exactly.
a time
Time for
where
me.
consuming media, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an art. Like even if you disagree that sometimes some movies are not art, it's just the idea of you clear your head. It's a zen type thing, and My
You're
brother
not-
and I.
like if you're watching movies, you're not gonna be sitting and talking, so there's no,
No,
point with going.
exactly.
to
And
a lot
like,
of people.
We're gonna be
Exactly.
we're gonna be sitting and napping.
well, sometimes yes. There are times where I'm tired and I watch. Like the first time I watched Shazam,
I still haven't watched that.
I watched something.
it was
So
it was terrible because I
No.
just other things.
Bad?
No, I liked it. I liked
Oh,
the
okay.
movie. Oh, sorry, not Shazam. Captain America or Captain Marvel. That one I just the mistake of me going
Oh,
to
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel was
You went with someone?
I didn't. I went by myself, but I went to the theater that had, bed. So you lie
Oh,
down.
really?
And,
Oh my god!
And I
I'm
just-
just thinking about it.
and I
right
just
now.
had like I came from work and I said, I'm not gonna go to the gym. I'm not gonna have any dinner. I'm not gonna have anything.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna go watch the movie. I took a taxi
I'm gonna go
from
sleep.
to the IMAX, and I'm gonna watch this movie because I'm gonna watch it the next day with my buddies. So I thought,
You slept through it, didn't you?
oh man, I woke up.
You slept
I
through
had
it,
no
didn't you?
idea. I slept through it.
We have the recliner seats, right? And
Yeah.
they're, like really like comfortable.
Exactly.
Those ones make me fall asleep.
Those-
I
Yeah,
fell
I-
asleep through Mission
And
Impossible.
that's the thing. Like, I don't understand why. Like, you're.
I'm thinking about it right now, and I want to sleep.
But the thing is, like, you're not. Okay, I get that people like the movie cinemas are declining, and the sales are declining.
Do you
wanna
think so?
try to-
Are they actually?
I think so. Yeah. Like in general, you have Netflix. You have You
All
have,
these
like,
streaming services.
streaming
Yeah,
services,
we-
TV
we've talked about
shows.
this.
We've covered that.
Yeah. So I think that like there's a huge time where like why should I go somewhere where it's gonna be
I
like
can watch at home.
I can watch at home.
Most
and-
people
and
like the
binge.
comfort of their home, but
Yeah.
not everyone has like a nice home theater. So
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you're not gonna go to a movie theater and make it feel like home. That's not the point of a movie theater, though.
You can.
But that's
not the point.
But that's not the point. You know, like the point of it is to sit down and watch something on a huge screen. No, and like you said, not everyone has a home theater system.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be this whole, it's an experience. When I watched the very first movie I watched in the cinema, I remember it. It was April 21st, 2001, and it was The Mummy Returns. See, I remember that.
Wait,
Good
is-
movie.
Is that which one?
It was The Mummy Returns. It
Is
was,
that Dwayne Johnson?
yes, it was actually
Yeah.
The Rock. He was a Scorpion King.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the very first film that I actually seen. So in the movies. So I can remember it, and that's the point of experience of going to the cinema. We shouldn't have recliners, and we shouldn't
you
have.
Think so?
I really don't think
I
so.
like being comfortable and watch. And that's why like
That's-
have snacks and stuff.
I get that, but like, go home and watch it. You know,
Yeah, but it's not. You can't always watch some movies at home.
I understand, but like the idea is, what I'm trying to say is like when you're trying to watch a movie, try to be aware. You know, you're not in your bedroom. This idea of this need to be comfortable.
It's like the back in the day, because my dad told me when they used to go to the cinema, they used to go like dressed up and like suits and
Really?
ties. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
He was like this.
It was
is
an event.
This is an event we're going
Yeah.
to.
Oh yeah.
So
I was
like
damn, like
No,
we go in our sweats.
so that's what I'm saying. Like from one generation to the other, it changes, and maybe like I'm talking from, an older person's perspective. I'm not that old, but
Yeah.
but it's
Not that.
the idea of it is, and
Yeah.
and like it's you're supposed to watch it.
You're the film studies
Well,
teacher.
yeah, I
But
yes.
you mind? I just wanted to ask, what was the first movie you ever watched in theater? Do you remember?
I do not remember. I want to say Tintin, because that's the one. But like, all the movies before that we used to download
Me too.
or buy.
I remember
like, in
though.
store.
The first movie I watched was I remember seeing like trailers on TV and like begging to watch it, and it was Speed Racer. Do you remember that? There was a comic,
Yeah.
like the animated the show or movie with the white car with the red M.
Yeah,
Like
that
bounce
was the
and
next
stuff.
one.
They made like a live action one, and like
Did you go to it?
yeah, I watched it with my dad when I was like really really young.
My dad
It was,
didn't
like,
believe.
It blew my mind.
When I was like, movies are bad and something like that. He didn't want me to start going to the movies when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I went to like high school.
Yeah.
What do you mean high school? Grade school. I was grade 6 when I watched it.
Tintin.
Yeah, I think it was Tintin. Because I
Really?
remember first time going to the movies, I was like when I said, my dad said, when you want to go to the movies, you can go alone. I'm not taking you. I don't know why. So yeah, I think it was Tintin, which great movie, awesome movie. We covered this before. I wish they continue like making them.
Yeah, like you're right. Movies are like experience more than they are the media. But
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna sound too pretentious, right? But I feel like sometimes like some movies you want to go watch and it's almost like you're watching the art, right? So
Yeah,
there are people who worked really hard on these movies, and
Obviously.
you shouldn't be slouching. Like it's almost respect. Like you go to a museum, you're not gonna sit on the couch and recline on the Mona Lisa. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that the Avengers
you're
is
not
the
going to
exact
the
same
red
thing.
carpet opening.
Well,
premiere.
it doesn't matter.
I wish I was.
The idea is appreciating the art for the arts
Yeah,
itself,
that's
and you people do say like Scorsese saying like the Avengers are not film. Sure, but people have worked on it. There is actual people who sit down and
Scorsese
hours
said
and
that?
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
there's a reason why he said
well,
that.
he,
'Cause they
his
didn't accept
idea
him.
is well, and then we'll talk about stories. Don't worry,
Yeah.
we'll talk about story and character development. But I'm just saying, in the sense of the technical thing, in film, like people work thousands of hours on
Developing this.
developing the movies.
Oh yeah.
So it's it is art. CGI.
It's crazy, man.
Which
Yeah.
another level of CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's and people say we didn't have CGI or we didn't have like we didn't have like any like effects or whatever effects from if you go back film history for a long time, one of the very first movies, Journey to the Moon, that was all it's not CGI, but it was all of it as technical films and like art and layering and the things that we think of today as a modern like camera movements and directions and cinematography. It's almost 100 years old, right?
Yeah.
So we generally don't like it's an art form even since the beginning. A great film about this idea of the development of film is Hugo. I don't know if you watch Hugo. I use it in my classes when I'm teaching film studies, and one of the things that I teach is film studies. And I used to, teach history of film, and it would be so boring, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
thank
obviously.
God. And speaking of Scorsese, because he directed this movie, right? And it made my whole lessons a lot easier to teach high
Because
school kids about.
His work is actually awesome.
Yeah, and they're like, we don't want to watch black and white movies. Okay, here you go. Watch this movie. It helps you out, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love film. I've always loved film, and it's an interesting form of medium. I have like this relationship with film where
It tells a story. Which
well, obviously,
Yeah.
but like
in your own way.
So, I've said this before on the podcast. But like, are you like this? Where like when I watch movies, sometimes I feel like I'm watching like I can tell like
I
I'm
can
like
tell through the
critiquing the
act.
acting, and
Yeah.
I'm like thinking of how they moved the camera,
Mhm.
how they did the lighting, how the guy's
Yeah.
acting out the words,
Yeah.
rather than just taking in the movie. You know what I mean? I like and hate that sometimes.
it's funny because like when I started developing like when the school said, here, you're doing film studies, I'm teaching film studies, and I said, okay, well, I like you
I
like
like-
films,
I like
you teach
movies.
films. I was like, okay, well, I didn't know, like I had an idea about films and direction stuff, but when I started researching it and I started like looking at the history of film,
I'm obsessed.
it became, when I watch a movie, I'd be like, oh, I know where that shot is. Or Quentin Tarantino used this movie, from a Japanese film, and he used this scene, and I'm just
yes.
it's like,
That's crazy.
oh man, like because
That's cool.
I've got into it so much where it's like,
Does that make you appreciate movies more?
it makes me appreciate movies,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it makes me hate movies.
Yeah. 'Cause
I
it's critique
I
and
hate
everything.
bad filmmaking in the sense, like, I'm not a filmmaker at all. Like I'm a guy. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm a guy watching a soccer game, and I'd be like, man, Cristiano Ronaldo sucks because he should have curved the ball this way.
And
In any way, I am not a filmmaker, but given the chance, and given the opportunity and the knowledge, I would love to, right?
Yeah.
But it's sometimes when I look at, I'm more into the writing aspect than the actual direction.
Okay.
Directing is hard because you have to look at it from your point of view, from the camera's point of views, and like from the audience point of view, and then you have to ask the guys that are shooting it. Like, oh my god, there's so much into it.
Yeah.
And there's a line from I think Scorsese said this. He was like, your first shot that you take, you always hate on it because it's not the right one. It makes you feel sick.
Yeah.
You don't want it, so you shoot again and shoot again and you shoot again until you get the perfect one.
Yeah.
And that's after 100 maybe takes.
Yeah, and it's funny because
I'm like, dude.
Like speaking of the perfection, like Stanley Kubrick, he always has that whole thing where like he's obsessed.
Obsessed
he
with
would
the
never
art, yeah.
he would never like sit down until he would like find the perfect shot and take and whatever. And I tell my students, I gave them a whole month. Their final exam is a 10 to 15 minute film.
Oh my god.
And it's their thesis, so they have to pick a theme that we have learned.
I did that.
Yeah, they have to take a theme, pick a theme or pick an idea, and they have to write. You know, this is what they hate about. They love making the film, but they hated me for making them write the script. Making me write their what's it called, their presentation. They have to present their ideas to me.
Not just show you the thing. You have to tell you
what happened.
like
do a write up. You know, like. It's not just, you know, here's a movie I shot on my cell phone. Yeah, right. Because they try to get away with it. I'm like, no. I need you to give me a script and with direction,
paperwork.
And
I've always loved those assignments. Anything that had to do with like media. We used to do like commercials or short skits or or even just like critiquing like music and movies and films and like writing assignments about that. I love all those like assignments like English
For some reason I was always either the cameraman or the guy dying.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, I remember in grade school we had this like assignment where we were making like a what was it, like a 30-second commercial, right? Mm-hmm. And like I sort of like directed ours, and like it was like a Gatorade commercial, and like I told my friend like how to cut it and everything. It was really nice. It was like it started off like everyone twisting the cap. And then cut out to everyone drinking. The clicking. I'll show it to you guys after, but like, it was actually so fun to me. You should
put it on the video YouTube.
Yeah. And there's a sound too, like even like importing the sound or exporting this and that, the files. Yeah. Like there's so much into it, and
yeah, there's
just thinking how the art of making movies went, and like how it started and how it became. By the way, how the hell did we get into this topic?
I don't like it. I'm enjoying it.
I don't mind it, yeah.
For the guy who didn't prepare anything, it's...
Yeah, I did not prepare anything. I just have, like, a bunch of questions for you at the end of this.
That's fine.
But, yeah.
But, yeah, like, for me, when it comes to film, it's not about, you know, the budget. Because, you know, my students have... I don't give them a budget, obviously. You don't tell them, like, there are some students who say, you know, I want to do this for a living or I want to study. So I might as well, you know, buy the equipment. And I say, okay, whatever. But it's not... Do you. But, like, I tell them, I don't care if you're doing it from a cell phone. You know? Yeah. It's not about the quality of your film in the sense of, like, screen.
It's the content.
Yeah. It's not how much you have. It's not what you have. It's about the actual...
Don't look at me.
You know why I'm looking at you.
Because of all
this. It's the depth. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but it's not. Yeah, it's the depth. It's what you can do with a lens to tell a story, right? Some kids, honestly, they have a huge, like they would get me. They would say, you know, I actually have my dad has a camera and it's really expensive and I have lighting and I'm like, oh, that's really great, and it's terrible film, right?
Yeah. Show me what you can
they fail because they didn't take time. They didn't actually have the passion for it, and they just wanted to get an easy A. And I tell them,
the gear is not going to do anything for you if your content's
and crap. They think it's an easy A, and they say, you know, hey, I want an easy A. I'm like, well, welcome to the wrong class. You know, first day of school, first day of classes.
That's funny. My school, like, we have intro to theater or film. Yeah, that's supposed to be like your easy A, because it's like some stupid class to most people.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It's more or less for me to keep down the numbers, but no, it's for more or less because I want serious Like in the sense like I'm there. It's in the education sense. I want them to take responsibility because when they go to university, and they think this is a bird course or an easy course, and I'm taking it just for that that it's nonsense. Every course should be taken seriously in some aspect, right?
Every curriculum has to be taken seriously.
So
Not
it's
just like,
it's not in the sense where like I have this ego. Well, I it's not just that. But
we got some egos around here.
No, it's but the idea of it's just be there to work. I expect you to work. Please work, right?
Show me your work.
So there are kids who just have an iPhone and they do cuts. They do the different types of cuts, angles.
Blown away from the students.
Oh man, yes. Oh,
They make like short skits or movies or shows.
They do. They like
how long is
I have the midterm. By the midterm we get to silent era, so we finish silent films. So we have the beginning, the different. So I teach them the very first thing in the curriculum. We learn basic photography skills, and then we go into angles and the different types of angles, the shots, the lighting, all these things that you learn the basics of film. And I show them different types of film, different genres of film, and how they use these type of angles and shots in order for them to get an idea. And then they have a kind of an assignment where they have to show me different to show me what these angles and shots and cinematography looks like. And then we go into film history, and then we get into film history, and then their midterm is use a film like a silent film format. You don't have to use audio, no writing, because we haven't done any writing, right? Okay. We haven't done any scripts.
Just record something.
Yeah, just record something, use the format, the silent film format, and give me something. And some kids have blown me away because they did the exact, like they studied what, we talked about Charlie Chaplin, we talked about different film stars and different movies in the beginning, and the development of early film, and they just thought, oh, I'll just do that, right? I'll try to, I'm not going to copy, like I'm not going to copy Charlie Chaplin, but I'm going to do that whole, comedy skit stuff. And it's fun, right?
It's not for everyone though.
It's not for everyone, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. But the idea is, I just want to show me what you've learned in this class.
Yeah.
Right?
And some of their own personal touches are probably put into it.
Yeah.
Too,
And like there's one where it's like this guy, it's such a cheesy clip where he's trying to get a date, and every time he's trying to get this girl's attention, she's not paying attention to him. So he goes and he meets this guy whose name is the love guru or whatever, and then he hires him to get to get in different situations. Everything fails, and then for some reason the girl gets in trouble, and he saves her life. And it turns out at the end, it was actually the love guru's plan all along. Stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So they get into deep production, basically.
Yeah, they produce it. Yeah. And that one was that was all done on iPhone. It wasn't even done there was
cuts and
there was another one.
Pretty.
Yeah, it was like that. There was another one. It was just like a magic show. Like he was a stationary camera. The other guys, they used dollies and they moved in and out and stuff. But this guy said, I just want to have a camera and a tripod, and the whole film was him trying to be a magician, and they just cut different cuts of scenes, and it would be like a magic show.
That's actually interesting.
It's hilarious.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Cool. Yeah.
And they got an A, and they was the only one who got an A because they actually poured a lot of time into it.
You can see. Wait, can you see the cuts, like how he cut them? And
yeah.
Like, can you recognize the cuts, or
of course they're not
all faded in like nicely?
No, they're not they're not professional, right? Yeah. So you can tell.
No, some kids actually are good in this stuff.
Some kids are good, but they're the midterm assignment I give them is 3 days, 4 days. It's crunch time. The idea. It was good.
Coming up with all this stuff, they better be good.
Yeah. So
we had to make in English class a video about one of the Shakespeare grade 12. What Shakespeare book do you read that year?
Grade 12? I think it's King
Great
Lear.
Gatsby. I think Great Gatsby.
I don't know, man.
I forget. Anyways,
it's been 12 years.
It was horrible. Everyone's was horrible. Everyone's videos were like really cheesy, but it was like really fun to do.
It was fun.
It's fun to make.
And it, like, the idea is push them hard, but give them have fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My students are not always, English is not their first language.
Obviously. Yeah.
So, like, I don't, you know, when...
Do you speak with them in Chinese or? You're
Mandarin.
not that strong too.
Mandarin, not Chinese.
Sorry, Mandarin.
In Mandarin...
I apologize.
It's okay.
Not to you, to them.
Mandarin, yeah, I do have phrases and stuff that speak to them in phrases. I'm not
Fluent.
I'm fluent in a time, like, different specific, not in everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I went to the dentist.
You don't even need to stop.
I only knew 2 words, which means tooth hurt, right? Tooth pain. That's it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, which one? I'm like, this one, and I just pointed at it, right? But, like, if I want to go to the restaurant, I can, you know.
Does anyone ever get like surprised when you start speaking?
Oh man, yes.
They look at you and they're like,
there's
these words.
Yeah, it's funny because when I get in a taxi, I know what they're gonna say before they say it.
Yeah.
So there's almost a script
Oh yeah.
where it's like, oh, so the very first thing they see, they look at me. You're so tall.
Yeah.
So they try to move this chair back. So they move the chair back for me, and they go, oh, and I say, oh, thank you, and he goes, oh, this car is small, and I say, no, it's okay, and they go. And they look at me and they go, where are you from? Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, that's so good. How long have you been there? How long have you been here? 5 years. Wow, 5 years. And then they pause and they go,
That's it.
No. It's not over yet. There's like 5 more minutes until the car ride ends, right?
Yes,
There's
all
a
of
script.
those, yeah.
So the second thing is like,
How'd you learn to speak?
No, he's like, it's 5 years. Wow. What do you do? Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, so good. Okay. And then they go, depending on the person, depending on the day, depending on whatever. It's have you used to have you gotten used to China, and have you gotten used to Yongchuan where I live, and or how much do you make, or do you have a girlfriend or a wife?
Really?
And I, like,
Too personal.
it's there's no like
There's
no boundaries?
There's no boundaries in that. Sometimes they look at me and they go, how much do you weigh?
Oh really?
Oh man, many times. I just tell them like 300. Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt anymore. It's just, like
It's nothing like.
Can you bring the mic closer that way? Just slightly.
It's nothing personal, you know.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Like, so how much money? Like, they're just curious, right?
Yeah. It's fun.
It's cool because they get like, imagine you sometimes like here, like, imagine if Australian guy comes in and walks to you and be like, "Hi mate, you're here in China." You're
I
like,
love those.
in Canada, you're like, "Oh my god, somebody Australian's talking to
Usually
me."
I
Right?
don't, if I notice an accent, I won't like point it out because I don't want them to feel self-conscious.
But it's really cool,
But
right?
I love that though.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
So to
just
these,
watching someone talking to someone that has an accent or has a
Yeah.
foreign language,
Yeah.
and like watching them talk.
So
to them, I'm like,
imagine
dude.
imagine you see someone who's a foreigner. Like, imagine that some guy, like, blonde hair, blue eyes, comes in. He's like, "Salam alaikum, kif halak?"
Yeah, okay.
Right?
I'll lose it right there.
Yeah.
Talks Arabic.
So like,
My
"Shlolak,"
dad.
you know?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Like a white person. Yeah.
Why dad's blue eyes, blonde hair?
It's like a white person, obviously.
but like you know our friends, right? Like,
Yeah.
they like some of them, they speak fluent Arabic, but they're not Arab. And
Yeah.
that blew you away. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
that whole reaction is understandable when you walk into, like, it's 9 o'clock in the afternoon or like 9 o'clock at night, and a huge guy walks in and starts speaking to you in your own language in Chinese, and he's a foreigner, right? Yeah, it's like, what? This is so cool, right? So you
Yeah.
go ask them things about about their life.
Yes.
Why are they here? So it's normal for me. Like, I got used to it, and it's fun
Yeah, but
because-
it's fun.
because
I
like
like the excitement
I have
that
a
it comes
question.
from the.
yeah.
Do you ever make up like stories or like make up things about yourself?
It's good to have something.
Like taxi
It
rides?
depends. I never make up any stories.
Yeah.
Like, they always ask me, like, where are you from? I always say I'm from Canada.
Yeah. Like,
Right?
Obviously.
Where, like, where do you teach? I tell them where I am. What do I do? I'm a teacher. Obviously, they'll know I'm a teacher, right? Sometimes they ask me, "Are you a student in the university?" And I say, "Well, when I shave, I look like I'm 19.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Are you a student?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a student." Right. So it depends.
You have a baby face, so yeah, that's not good.
But so you understand that.
Totally, that's why I have this awkward beard over here.
So it's fun. It's fun to be like it's 5 years, and it's really cool. Like I never like there are days where it's like I'm homesick, and like there are days where like I can't wait to go home because it's just
too much.
It's too much. You know, you're away from your family for a long time. But
Sorry.
it's okay. But it's fun. It's fun when you go to a new place and you're the only foreigner there, and they all look at you and you're speaking in Chinese, and they go,
So you're a pretty tall person comparing.
It depends on
there.
where I'm in China.
Right.
Like if I'm in the north in Beijing or in like in the northern parts, I'm.
By the way, no offense to what I said to them.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
there's a big difference.
There is a huge difference.
Fact and heights.
Yeah.
And it's like there are some times where it's like, the northern parts of China. I don't know why, but there are taller people there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because like when I'm in Beijing, I don't struggle in the same sense as I do in
Your city.
in my city, because they're like I can buy clothes in Beijing, but I can't buy clothes in my city, for example. Yeah.
Okay.
Like there, I go like sometimes if I go to Shanghai or Beijing and I want to buy some shoes, I can't find the size. The size stops at 48, which is like I think 9 men's. I'm not sure exactly.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I can't even get shoes.
So
he's walking.
So like I've only
barefoot.
bought one pair of shoes in my city, and they're like the equivalent of Crocs, right? And they were 50. So like my shoe size is 50.
Yeah.
Sometimes you would find like in the malls and like if you go to Adidas, you'll find it, but it's gonna take a long time, and it won't be the same. You know, like the kind you probably will not be the style that you want.
Yeah. Now, is there anything else you want to say about that?
No, I'm good.
I was gonna say, like getting into a new segment. The actual like, how's the like sort of the movie and like show like culture there? Is it different?
See, I haven't seen a lot of Chinese films or Chinese movies. I've seen Chinese films.
How about even their reaction, even their like culture around like
there's definitely
superheroes? How we are with superheroes.
their reaction to superheroes, Marvel and DC.
There's probably a lot of people who are obsessed with superheroes.
Oh yeah, all the kids, all the young people, all the people have seen Star Wars or like have seen Marvel films. Like they're all they've seen.
They take it to another level too.
If I give a
like
film
a
report, if I like in class, I ask them to give me a film review or tell me about your favorite film. 75% of the class, I guarantee you, will give me one Marvel film, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like 25%, they will give me different films, and I don't know why, but in China, the film The Professional. Have you seen that film?
No.
Okay. It's funny because it's like it's a film that.
So this is what I'm getting at. I'm saying, is there any difference? I had expected it to be the same. I'm not trying to be like rude. I'm just trying to
it's not the same.
Is there differences?
There is absolutely a lot of differences.
Because like over here in West End, there's like groups of people who have obsessions with certain types of film.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I'm not really well immersed in the different genres. Like I can tell you right now, there are different shows. There's more the entertainment in what people like and what people prefer is different than here.
Yeah, I expect that.
There's always a lot of historical dramas.
Oh really?
So like there's different periods of time in China, in Chinese history that they have a lot of films, right?
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of like modern day dramas. Imagine like Syrian shows. Syrian shows could be divided into 4 types of shows, right?
What's that?
You get the comedies, you get the modern day dramas, you get the during Ottoman times, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get the French during the French times.
Yes.
So and like the sense of humor is different. There are things that comedy a lot of times doesn't translate correctly.
That's true.
From
there to here, or
from here to there, from there to here.
Yeah, that's not good.
Even in Arabic and stuff.
Yeah, and so like there's a lot of things where you're sitting in the movie theater, and
You're the only one laughing.
you're the only one laughing because
Do you get stared down?
I don't get stared. No, it's because
Wait.
it's not
They just-
funny
Mhm.
when it comes because it's not from the sense of humor.
Because it's translated.
And the
translated, too.
puns don't make sense in
Oh.
translation. So if someone understands English, like, and you're sitting there and you hear the pun and you understand what it's funny,
Yeah.
right? But like a joke about Justin Bieber isn't gonna translate
Yeah.
very well, or a joke about pop culture, like Marvel films is 90% of it is pop culture, right?
Yeah.
So like there's a joke in the movie where it's like Back to the
America's ass.
Future, sucks or whatever. Like what is this, like Back to the Future or whatever? And then at the bottom they had to like translate to tell you what Back to the Future was for the
Oh,
people.
really?
So they have to go through the whole thing?
Sometimes Back to the
Sometimes.
Future
I don't expect.
film 1981 or whatever.
Oh, so they
1887.
actually do that. They
just
go through
sometimes
that.
there are sometimes that they tell you what they're
Wow.
referencing to.
Okay.
So like you're
That's
sitting in
funny.
the movie theater
You just
and,
see Back
like-
to the Future
and
19
like
something.
they you see that sometimes, like that's an example, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, like, you're sitting down and you know that there are foreigners in the movie theater because you
They're
hear
laughing.
you're not the only one who's laughing, and it'd be like, yo, who's in the movie theater? Right?
That's funny.
So like
You hear the laughs and the giggles.
it's like you know who's
foreigner.
who's a foreigner in the film. So it's and like it's funny like that. So there's a lot of and for example, like I was watching Men in Black, the new one, international.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's pretty good.
So have you seen it?
Yes.
There's a scene where they show a celebrity, right? And I don't know who the celebrity in the West was, but in China it was like a influencer, and he goes, "Oh, that makes sense, right?"
Yeah.
So it was funny for the people, but it wasn't
Okay.
funny for me.
you. Yeah. Because
Oh.
you
But,
didn't get it.
But I didn't get it. But I haven't seen it in North America to know who was that person that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right?
They brought up.
So they're starting. Even like Hollywood is starting to like get aware. Be like, that's not funny to people outside of North America
North
or like
America.
the West, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to do that. So like a lot of people do watch a lot of shows. A lot of students, a lot of people, young people do watch American and Western shows.
Yeah, I bet.
A huge, and then this is sometimes it's like weird because a huge like sometimes it's obscure shows that like are not really big here but are huge there. Like Two Broke Girls.
Who the hell's that?
See, like this show, Two Broke Girls, is just super popular in China, and here a lot of people don't know, right?
Yeah. What the
Big
hell
Bang
is that?
Theory.
Yeah, I know. about that
I
one.
told the kids, like, do you guys know Friends? And they go, what?
Really?
Like a lot of them, I have to tell them which show I'm talking
Friends
about.
probably has a bunch of jokes they don't get. Probably.
They don't, but like the kids are watching it. Like
Yeah.
I've caught many kids watching Friends in my classroom.
Mid
But
class.
like, that's the one where Joey like doesn't share food, and she goes,
Joey
How do you
doesn't
know?
share food. Oh my
She-
god. that was-
I caught a couple of them watching Friends, right? But like so it's fun. Like they do watch Western shows, but like there are some films or TV shows like The Professional. You don't know what that movie is, right? But it's famous in China.
That's weird. Like this famous stuff here, it's not there.
No, like there's certain things, segments of pop culture that appeal more of Western
To
pop
their
culture to them more than to us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Professional is a very good show, a very good movie,
Yeah.
but it's not very well known
Yeah.
Here.
right here.
Yeah.
And so like it's not very well known here, so you don't know like it's like what is this movie? Like I had to watch it to understand what this person was talking about, because like I was like first year when I was first year teaching, I'm giving this kids like this movie review. I'm like, what is this movie?
You have to watch it then.
So I had to like I watched like YouTube clips and trailers. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that makes sense. And then I later on watched it. But like big films, like the Avengers, Star Wars.
Yeah, I
Something
bet
that's worldwide.
global.
That's
Yeah.
been
Yeah, that's
that
global.
that is shared by everyone.
Yeah, and Star Wars isn't really well known in the sense of because there isn't this like it's been it wasn't shown in China until like recently. So that there's like the first 6 films weren't very popular because they didn't know, so the only 3 films, like, so they all, a lot of my kids only know the 3 Star Wars films, and then they went back.
Oh.
And it's funny because one of my students who was very obsessed with Star Wars, and so he's like, sir, because kids have nicknames, English names. So he goes, sir, I'm gonna be Anakin. Call me Anakin. He's so cool. I'm like, are you sure? You know who Anakin is? He goes, yeah, he's the chosen one. He's gonna fight the Empire. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna spoil it.
That far?
No, like, so he didn't know anything about Star Wars.
The stuff that's happening now. That's what I'm saying. Like, is he watching?
No, he's watching like from episode 1. So he watched episode.
Yeah, that's
Phantom
the old
Menace.
stuff, right?
Yeah, no, that's the prequels. They're old stuff now, but like in the beginning.
Yes.
When I say old stuff, I mean like since 1970s.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to bring up. Yeah, but the stuff that just came out now.
Yeah, that's new for.
That's very new for them.
There are some people who didn't know like Star Wars, like they had an idea that there were previous films, but their reference for Star Wars was Star Wars. What's it called? Episode 7.
Yeah.
Episode
Isn't that
7.
from like 2000 something?
2015.
Yeah, 2015 right? To now.
Yeah. So like that's a lot of the kids that's their reference, They had to go back and watch it. So this student, he's like, call me Anakin. Anakin is really good. He's the chosen one. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to be Anakin?
Don't destroy him.
I bet he's gonna defeat Darth Vader. I'm like, okay. I didn't say anything.
I'm gonna see you back.
I didn't say anything.
Like
so
3 days.
I think it was like two weeks later. I'm like, hey, Anakin. He's like, I'm not Anakin. I'm Obi-Wan. I'm like, did you watch episode 3? He goes, yeah. I can't believe Anakin is Darth Vader. So he was. He broke his heart. But so like that's what I mean.
That's
like
what happens. That's the real world, son.
Yeah. So that's some of the kids don't. Like, it's new.
So, any movies or shows you look forward to right now? What movies actually? There's a lot of new movies. New Year.
I want to watch Birds of Prey.
Yeah. Me too.
That snuck up on me because I wasn't even like.
Didn't know it was coming out.
I didn't know it was coming out. I knew it was coming out, but I didn't realize it was now. No. I haven't seen the Joker yet.
Really?
What?
And then the reason why is because I haven't seen the Joker is because I haven't actually had time to come and sit down and watch it.
Oh my god!
It didn't premiere in China when I was in China.
You should watch that as soon as you can.
I will watch it as soon as I can.
What do you mean as soon as you can? Right now, you're just gonna sit.
I'm gonna sit down right now, review it after, and then come back, cut right now, and then no. But
that's actually our first episode.
Then I will watch it and listen to your first episode.
Yes, we'll listen to the first episode.
I'm looking forward right now to. What do you call it? I'm watching The Mandalorian right now. Okay. So I'm loving The Mandalorian.
There's season 2 actually coming out. Well,
yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Black Widow movie.
Yes.
And I know it's like I just want to see what the hell this Black Widow movie is.
Yeah. Do you hear about that movie in 1917? And how it was like really shot really cool.
It looked like it was taken one shot. Yes. Yeah. That movie is right now. It's also on my list.
Yeah.
I will probably watch it. And
have you watched Bad Boys yet?
Of course, I watched Bad Boys. Right. I watched Bad Boys.
I haven't watched it.
I liked it, but it wasn't. I know I was watching it with someone. It was the type of movie that you would watch with someone, and I was like, I looked at her. I'm like,
I want to still watch Jumanji and Bad Boys. Like those two, I haven't watched.
You haven't seen Jumanji?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either. Man, we gotta catch up and just
too busy with stuff.
What are we doing this podcast? We haven't seen these movies, man.
All right, we're watching these movies. Anyways, you want to get to the questions?
So we have crap ton of questions for you.
All right.
Your brother did 10 or 12. He did 12. So I'm combining some from his and yours,
Okay.
and we'll see what happens from there.
All
So,
right.
first question, my sir,
All
my good sir.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite smell?
My favorite smell.
I don't
That's
even
an
have
interesting.
answer.
That's an interesting question because
Please
really
don't be
think
like your
about
brother. I'm begging you.
I have to go back and listen to what he says.
Yeah.
We haven't posted that one yet,
Oh, okay.
so that's gonna be a very
You
shocking one for you.
My favorite smell. I think my favorite smell would be there's this oil that I use sometimes, just like to to make me feel relaxed. It's like essential oils. It's called Thieves, and it's like different.
Oh, yes, I know that.
You know Thieves?
I have it.
So I would say like because of that, I like cinnamon and like warm
Lavender and
smells,
stuff like that.
lavender. Like oh, those are that's
See,
my
that's
smell.
That's a normal person's answer, not.
Yeah.
Let me guess. Like, did it come like bowels or something about like? Oh, I know.
Oh, I'm not gonna say what it was, but that's a normal answer, like a person's answer, not Mr. Adham. Anyways, second question:
Okay.
how many bones have you broken in your life?
I have broken.
And tell us the stupidest one.
Because
Because we need to
All right.
embarrass you today.
so
You've
I'll
been
tell
giving
you
us
I'll tell you
lessons.
I'll tell you what I've broken. I broke in my bone here.
Pinky?
No, not the pinky, but the bone here.
Uh-huh.
What's it called?
I should know that.
The meta. I know what it is.
Metatarsal?
Metacarpal.
Like metacarpal?
Metatarsal in your
Yeah,
foot,
I know,
boy.
stop.
So I broken both of my metatarsals
Carpal.
here. Metacarpals. I actually broke a metatarsal, but we'll go back to that.
Really?
Yeah. So two of my bones in my left hand,
Uh-huh.
or my right hand, and I broke them actually almost a year apart. And the second one,
Punching?
I punched the wall.
Cool.
It was a stressful like exam week. I
Idiots.
knew exams. So I broke it. I actually went to the emergency room and I'm like, this is broken. I just want to let you know I punched the wall. And they go, why'd you punch a wall? I'm like, I'm really stressed out in the exams. And they go, you really need to figure out ways to deal with your stress. And I say, you know what? I
punched the wall.
I told them I didn't learn my lesson the first time because it was the same reason and the same place. But I learned my lesson now. And they're like, how do we know that you learned your lesson? I told them I have 4 classes. 3 of these classes are take-home exams, and they're all essay writing. And the last one is an actual exam, and I am marking, and because I'm a TA. So I learned my lesson, and there's no excuse. And they're like, okay.
Well, if you feel more stressed, you can come and join me with.
No, from that day, I haven't.
I have a punching bag. Whenever I feel stressed, I start punching it, and after a while, I lose consciousness. So I just headbutting it every once in a while.
No, I'm done. I'm done with that. I learned to take a deep breath. I learned to go.
But that's not the worst story.
Count to 10. No, the worst story is with my foot. So I broke my foot, and it was the stupidest way possible. I broke it because I wanted to prove to my sister that I know how to kick. So
Kick what?
Kick. I was just air kicking, like kicking and spin kick or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went and spun kick, and it landed on a corner of the couch. Now the couch on the back is just sharp wood. There's no cushions or anything. So it hit on my tarsal here, like on the foot, and the actual joint hit, and it went split like that.
Oh my god!
So like it was like cracked.
You could have joined the opera.
I could have what?
You could have joined the opera with the voice.
Oh no! It like honestly, it hurt, and then I just forgot about it. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. So like it.
Oh, you didn't. Whenever you hit your like pinky or something like on a corner of something, you start screaming and like
it's a hurt. But then I'm like,
I start singing right away.
It's pain, right?
Yeah.
But then I woke up that night and I looked at my foot and it was blue and like swollen, and I'm like, okay, I broke my leg. I broke my foot. So I went to the hospital. They're like, there's nothing we can do.
Really?
What do you mean?
It was on my pinky toe,
Mm-hmm.
and my full weight. They said, okay, walk. So I walked, and they're like, does it hurt? And I'm like, it hurts, but it's not really that painful. And they go, okay, well, to be honest with you, we can't give you any, we can't wrap
medication or
it,
something.
and they just give you like aspirin or like Tylenol. Take some Tylenol and then go, rest. Keep it elevated. 4 to 5 weeks, it's gonna be good. 2 weeks, it won't like just wear like comfortable shoes, and that's it. So it healed in a way where like if I walk right now, the pinky's up is raised.
Really?
So if I have wet feet and I'm walking, it looks like I have 9 toes. Right? Yeah. So it's weird.
My God,
it's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. So that's the stupidest thing. I think
you don't have the crazy stories like your brother, but
no, he has really weird stories and
very and interesting.
I did some boxing, but I didn't break any like my nose. I did have another story. I broke my rib.
Oh my God! No.
And so
I broke that.
No.
This huge guy.
No, please stop talking. Stop talking.
The person who broke my rib is standing right in front of me, but it was my fault.
No, it was my fault. I lifted you up and cracked you up like a piece of.
Like a what?
It's okay.
Never mind.
Like a glow stick.
No. Dude, just remembering how I held him like this and I just lifted him up and just so I can hear the crack every single time I see this guy, and it hurts me.
Don't worry, I forgive you, man. Don't worry
you
about
forgive
it.
me, but other people don't.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. He was like,
yeah, it's fine.
I went to the doctor and they're like, "What do you mean your rib is broken?" I'm like, "It's broken." I'm like,
it's shattered.
It's like they're like, "Oh, okay."
Across my stomach.
And then they're like, "It's not really like it wasn't really broken.
Okay,
it was just a hairline fracture, and it wasn't even that bad. But like the pop was so bad that it hurt for days, right?"
Okay, I'm not the Hulk here. I'm not gonna break it.
So the lady, the doctor, she was like, "What do you want?" And I said, "Well, no, just what can I do? Like, can I get like meds?" And she's
can
like,
you pop it back in?
No meds. And I'm like, can you like try it? She's like, just get an X-ray. Here's an X-ray. Go do this and take Advil. I'm like, oh, okay. So she was just like, this guy is probably trying to score opiates or something. I was like, I felt so embarrassed.
All right.
Anyways,
next question.
Yeah, I still hate myself for that.
Don't worry about it.
So, what's your favorite animal in the world and why?
I don't have a favorite animal.
No?
I think
How
like
about this? We have this other question. If you can I heard this on like another podcast. If you can have like, if you can get any animal and shrink it to like pet size, what would you do? What would you choose?
I still don't like it.
Don't know.
It's not that I hate animals. I love animals. It's just I don't feel like maybe like I like different animals. I like all animals in a specific way, but like I don't think that I identify or I like one animal,
Okay.
you know.
There's no favorite animal.
There's not a favorite animal in that sense.
No.
Like no.
All right. Next question.
So, as the oldest sibling in the house, do you think you have a large impact on your siblings? Because you have 4 siblings and you're the oldest.
See,
do you feel like you have an impact on them, or are you just the guy that lives in the room that next to them?
no, there are times where I feel like that.
Yeah.
Especially before I went to China, I had my own life, like my own thing. And to be fair, like we grew up our own interests, right?
Yeah.
We didn't really have the same, like me and Adham, my brother, we're close now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he always wanted to go outside and play and stuff and explore. And he's the type of person who wants to like go out and
he's the one that goes rogue.
Yeah, and
he's
for me,
to go rogue.
The problem is for me, the way I was brung up, and like if anyone gets in trouble, it's me, right? So my mentality was, why would I risk getting in trouble and going outside and playing and doing all these stuff where I can just sit down on TV and watch movies or read books and nothing would happen, right?
You still get beat because of him.
I still get beat. I don't get beat.
And not beat, but I get.
But like he definitely has gotten away with things that I have not gotten away with, right? And like same thing with my other brother. Like he's
the little one.
He's over there. Yeah. He's waving. You can't see him, but Like I feel like I'm closer to him, because we share the same ideas. He's annoying. I see a lot of myself in him. When he was my age, like when I was his age, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, don't do this because I know what's going to happen to you. You know, I can tell my brothers, like, you know, or I can tell my kids, my students, or even my children, like, I'm not perfect or I'm not wrong. They're like, no, sir. Like my kids are like, but you're the teacher. I'm like, yeah, I'm the teacher, but sometimes I can make spelling mistakes. I'm allowed to make mistakes, right? And it's just this idea.
I'm
like,
not Sherlock Holmes here.
Yeah. You know, I do have the ego of Sherlock Holmes, but I'm not. Anyways, next question.
Next question.
That was good, though. Informational.
Yeah, that got too deep.
I have another question. We asked this last time. It was, what superhero do you think, like, not the one that you would like to be or the one you like the most, what superhero do you think, like, represents you morally?
I think Superman.
Morally?
I think morally, in the sense, is Superman. See, the thing is about Superman, and this is actually comes back to film. Okay, I'm gonna bring that to film and storytelling because it's important. The reason why Superman movies.
Keep it a bit short though.
Yeah, I will. I'll try. The reason why Superman films don't work isn't because Superman is trying to change. Superman is
perfect.
Shouldn't be. Yes. Okay. The point of Superman.
So you are perfect.
No. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying the idea of morality, in the sense of like a person who. I'm not saying I am a morally, you know, good person in any way, in the sense where I'm always the best. Right? What I'm trying to say is, you asked me about Superman, and the reason why I identify with Superman is because Superman sees the world not in black and white, in the sense of justice, right and wrong. Right? Mm-hmm. He sees that there are people who are bad, and they need to, you know, there's justice that needs to be fixed. Something is bad in the world and needs to be fixed. Right? The problem with films about Superman is that they're saying, oh, well, Superman is just like us. He needs to, you know, find that idea, or like he needs to struggle with that idea. No, Superman does not need to struggle with that idea. Superman is there as a Jesus complex, right? He is there. I'm not saying me. Yeah. I'm just saying he is there to save the earth, to save the people from the bad guys, right? Yeah, there is right and wrong, but there isn't like in the saying, like in the sense of right and wrong, as in like, you know, this person is a bank robber, and this person is stealing money. Like you
lost yourself there.
I did lose myself there. What I'm trying to say is people change around Superman.
So what are you saying?
So we talked about Superman. Now you.
Okay. Like, what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to say, are you gonna cut it out?
No, we're not. This is good. That's why we're telling you to keep it a little bit.
It's like it's dragging on pretty long.
All right. Okay. What I'm just trying to say is that the reason why I identify with Superman in the sense is because I do see that there is wrong in this world, right? Yeah. And it could be easily fixed if you just stop doing it or prevent the people.
So you're saying like. Everything Superman knows that anything that comes in his way, there's a solution for it.
Yes.
So like he can conquer anything basically.
Yeah.
So and like your mentality.
In mentality is I can like mentality. If I put my mind to it, I can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And sometimes it takes a longer time than others, but I don't in a sense give up in that sense.
Yeah.
Thank you for guiding me.
I got you.
Yeah. You're clapping for yourself. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You did this. I did this.
I didn't mean to.
All right. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
So this is a short question. This is not that long. If you walk into a room, every time you walk into a room, there's a song for you. It's your song.
A song plays when you walk.
A song plays whenever you walk into a room. All right? You open that door and that song pops up. What would it be?
That's a really hard
short
question. That's a short. Yeah. I don't know. Like
short.
That's a weird question. I agree. I don't know what I was.
It's a really difficult question because it depends on my mood. Like if I'm sad, I'm gonna give you this because I'm gonna give you like yes,
like
there is no
like jazz.
When I'm sad,
not jazz.
I want people to when I come in and be like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." You know, Simon Garfunkel song. But But if I'm happy or whatever, it's definitely. I don't know why.
What's your intro music?
My intro music?
Yeah.
I can see him the final countdown.
Actually, that's
He walks
Yeah.
through the classroom.
He's a teacher.
Walks him straight to the front of the class.
Who said I didn't do that?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Who said I didn't come into the class and put final
You've
countdown?
done it.
Of course I have.
No way.
I did Eye of the Tiger doing a test one time,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
right? So that was the first
You
year.
think you're enticing their students to make it like
Oh no, they just
you
rolled
could
my
do
eyes.
it. You could do it.
They just thought I was really
No, they're
weird.
procrastinating.
No, they're just like, can you stop the music, please? We're trying to study. Like that's how
Wow.
it was.
So, do you want me to ask him more or
One more question. So.
one more, two more? Because
Okay.
the last one is just like a
Yeah.
small answer.
All right.
Funniest memory you can remember from your childhood?
Funny. Oh,
So one of the funniest.
well, it's funny now,
Funny now.
but it was terrible when it happened.
It hurts when
So
it
you don't know
happens.
this. I don't know if you know this about me. I don't know if I told you this, but I broke my teacher's nose.
Huh?
I broke my teacher's nose. And
What the heck?
you don't know
No
this.
way, really?
No.
I did, yeah.
You're looking at the questions, aren't
yeah,
you?
I broke my teacher's nose, and it was in Marlborough primary, like Marlborough School
Yeah.
in the West End. And
West.
basically what I did was we were playing baseball, we're playing softball. He said, Ayham, you're left-handed, and I said, yeah. And he goes, can you play with a right-handed glove? And I'm like, sure, whatever, I'll play. And I just wanted to play. Like this teacher was like, here, you want to play? I'm like, sure, play catch. And so we were playing catch, and I was throwing the ball at and I was just trying to do a curveball because I want to be so cool. And it went curved the other way, and I think I don't remember exactly. I know vividly in the sense the seconds after throwing that ball, I can see it right now. It went straight for him, and he just looked, and it like there was this moment of slow motion where time stopped, right? And all I hear is right?
Oh my god.
And I don't know if it's actually happened, but in my memory I just hear right?
Oh.
And
Dude,
like
if it was slow motion, he was like, no.
and I was just like,
So you didn't mean it?
no, I didn't mean
I
it.
thought you meant it
No,
when you
I
said
didn't
it.
mean it. No, I didn't mean
Dude,
it.
you went up to your teacher and just
No,
knocked him out.
I would never do that. But it was the okay.
Yeah,
Let me just tell you.
That hurts back then.
Let
Now
me
it's
tell
funny.
you. Let me tell you. He was 2 minutes before he was wearing a white wool sweater. 2 minutes after he was wearing a red,
Oh my god.
red white wool sweater,
Oh my
right,
God.
soaked in blood. I had I hit him square on the nose, and I had severed an artery, so he just
Oh my god.
like basically he
You
had to
monster.
go. He went into surgery within 20 minutes.
Good
of,
thing
like,
healthcare is here. It's free.
yeah.
You monster.
It's funny. He was lucky. He was
Sued,
telling
bro.
me. He was telling me he was lucky because the vice principal's brother was a surgeon.
Oh.
So he went in, and then they just like helped him.
Fixed him
He
up?
was good. Like he was good. But to this day, like I met him a couple of times before, and to this day he still has like not black guy, but he still has like bruises here to this
Poor
day.
guy.
And yeah, and this guy every
Poor
time
guy. Literally,
like,
poor guy.
when I was in teachers college, I met with him, and we were at this conference, and he actually introduced me because like, Ayham, come on up, and I'm going to tell a story about Ayham. He threw like a whole assembly of like 200 teachers or whatever. It was like huge, and he's like he broke my nose, blah blah blah. Like,
That's so funny.
yeah, and like he comes in on Monday and goes, come here. Took me out of class, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna take out my glasses. You can break my nose. He goes, okay, let's break your nose. And I was just like, and he goes, I'm joking. I'm not gonna break your nose. I know it was an
I
accident.
wish.
No, but he was a good
That would have
teacher.
been a good
He
story.
was
too.
like I met his mom. What happened? Like for some reason, I was doing like I met with him, and he said, you know, I know you like archaeology. My daughter really loves archaeology. Would you like to give her a tour? My mom will be there. We can go to the Detroit Institute of Art, and we can just show her stuff about archaeology and stuff. This was when I was in university. So I met with his mom, and he goes, so she says, So you're the one that broke my
Broke my
son's.
son's
I'm like,
nose.
I'm so sorry. And
That's
she's like,
fine.
no, it's his fault. He shouldn't give you the ball at the first place. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So it turns out that every time there's like a teacher thing, he tells a story.
About you breaking.
So
his
when I
nose.
went and met with teachers, like when I met with in teachers, and they're like, and I would be talking, and somehow I would come to a conversation of me, knowing this teacher, and they go, and like, yeah, he broke his nose. A student broke his nose. I'd be like, yeah, that's me.
That's me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Anyways, that's a good place
Last
to end
question. Last question.
One more
Out
question.
of 1 to 10, how happy are you today?
9.5.
Good. Don't explain it.
it. All right.
No, I just have a cold. That's all.
That's it. Habibi.
All right. So I guess let's end it here. That was a pretty good episode. Follow our Instagram because now we have Instagram. It's time to spare with an underscore at the end, and that's where all like our Spotify and YouTube and everything is on there. Do you want to
Obviously, our
outro this in
YouTube-
Mandarin?
Yeah. Obviously, our YouTube.
You put me on a spot. I can't say
Yeah.
that in Mandarin.
Obviously,
No,
our
no.
YouTuber is now the link of our YouTube is on Instagram, so just check it out. And yeah,
I was gonna say just say an
Yeah.
outro, say like goodbye or something.
goodbye or something.
再见朋友
All right. Peace.
Bye bye. Wait, you said peace.